that it would be a mistake of fact for anybody to ever think that UDA has ever been a formidable force.
Really?
It has never been. It was not at the time of its inception. It was not at the time of its conception. It was not at the time of its consummation. And it is not at this particular time of its death. That when they were voting for you, they were hustlers. Now that kimegeuka na kimeanza kuwaramba, because you are not able to keep unto your promises, you are now calling them Mungiki. When did they turn from being hustlers? When did they turn from being needy people? When did they turn from being dependent to Mungiki?
It could be wrong because he has taken concern with the incompetency of Moses Kuria.
Yes.
He's taken concern with...
But you see, Moses Shargei, this guy who has been sidelined. He's a black sheep within UDA.
Sidelined across the board?
He's a black sheep within UDA. His time to eat has not yet come.
Even Kimani Ichung'wah on his other side?
Don't mention that boy.
Come on.
Don't mention that
Majority
boy.
Leader reducing him to a boy?
Don't mention that boy. He's too full of himself. He's too proud. The other day, tulikutana na yeye uko Bomas, akakataa kunisalimia.
You call him petty?
He's not just petty. Akona shida emotions. You need to check on his hormones.
And you're just in time for Siasa Brigade, your go-to point on matters, politics and governance here in Kenya and across the region. And I'm yours truly, Richard Mwanja, son of the soil indeed. Always a pleasure to have you on board. Now, on today's conversation, yet again, we are onboarding your favorite, our celebrated advocate with the High Court of Kenya and a really decorated public scholar and thought leader. That is Mr. Ndegwa Njiru. You know him as the Black Bull. Yeah, that's his other name. Or some of you are calling him John the Baptist. I don't know why, but he'll tell us more.
Yes.
John the Baptist.
Yes, how are you, Richard?
AKA Ndegwa Njiru. Which one should come first? John the Baptist or
Ndegwa Njiru? Because like I told you, it is so much dear to me because it gives me my identity. So Ndegwa Njiru it is.
The other day you considered yourself John the Baptist.
Then,
why so?
Well, just because we are laying the ground for much more works that is yet to follow. And these works that is to follow is for redeeming this country. Remember, John the Baptist was laying the ground for Jesus Christ to come and bring redemption.
True.
So our works is to lay the ground so that we can bring many more other people into the fold in the war or in the struggle of liberating this country. Because this is a country that needs redemption, needs liberation. We need to rescue this country. We need to save this country because the country is drowning. And of course, you know, when you are drowning, you don't care who comes to rescue you. You don't even ask for the best diver. It's any diver who can get hold of your hand and lead you out of that water.
Sure.
Is one that matters most at that particular time. So the country is drowning. And when the country is in this state, it requires so many of us. John the Baptist, it requires Peter, Petro is also required, Judas. We also know that there are also Judases in these processes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we know that Judas is there. So we need all and sundry to come and rescue this country.
Even prophets of Baal are here?
Even the prophets of Baal are here. Elijah is also here. So we're basically working towards liberating this country.
Very well.
And I watched your interview with Chairman Maina Jenga.
Oh yeah, Maina Jenga.
I did watch this interview, and there are some very interesting observations he did regarding the members of parliament who came out screaming that, oh yeah, London is burning, London is burning. And you know, in Kikuyu community, it is an abomination. It's a sign of bad omen for women to wail against their children. They are not supposed to wail against their children.
Sure.
In fact, we say in Kikuyu, and I will interpret that engiugirwa mbuni aka dehonaga, engiugirwa mbuni atumia dehonaga.
Say that again.
Engiugirwa mbu ni atumia dehonaga. That is to say, kitu ikipigiwa mayoe na the women, hiyo kitu yezi pona. So when they go out screaming, wailing against our children, it means they are subjecting those children to bad omen. And I must tell them, because I had Alice Wahome asking and saying, oh, we need the Meshoke of these days, of today, oh, Kidura Kindiki, you should rise up and kill people the way they were killed during the time of Wahome, during the time of Meshoke. I want to tell her, facing the camera, that this country will never go where it was before the new constitution.
It never will?
If they know they have, and they are made of steel, let them go and start killing people the way they were killing them before. You cannot kill somebody just because you have suspected that this person is Mungiki.
Out of 8 million people?
Yeah, because we have put in place mechanisms of dealing with those issues and administrating those issues. We have put in place a functional judicial system. We have put in place a functional investigative system so that it can narrow down on those individuals whom they suspect are causing those mayhem, are causing those menace, are involved in execution of those illegal actions.
Very well.
So Alice Wahome and your call, be it known unto you that you have to take, or you have to allow the law take its course. The due process must be followed before you ask Professor Kithure Kindiki to go out on a shooting spree with his boys. You know why? It is difficult for you to say that XYZ is Mungiki. I am involved in the trial of Maina Jenga. They have brought two senior police officers at the ranks of inspectors to testify on how Maina Jenga and co-accused are Mungiki. They have also brought a chief, a senior paramount chief.
Allah.
They have also brought a village elder. And when the question was put to them by the lawyers, and one very interesting question was put by an advocate called Mr. Ngatia, not Fred Ngatia, but it's called Ngatia. He put a question, another one called Mr. Mburu. How do you identify Mungiki? I also put the same question. What is the characteristics of a Mungiki? Those two police senior officers could not identify, even after investigating that case for more than 6 months. They did not have anything that could pinpoint that XYZ is Mungiki. Now you're coming to tell the same police who are not able to identify just in a group of 12 people what Mungiki looks like or who is Mungiki, to go start killing our youths. And then we are reminding them finally that when they were voting for you, they were hustlers. Now that kimegeuka na kimeanza kuaramba because you are not able to keep unto your promises, you are now calling them Mungiki. When they turn from being hustlers, when they turn from being needy people, when they turn from being dependent to Mungiki. I mean, these guys are just trying to have diversionary tactics, left, right, and center, because government is dysfunctional, government is not working, they are not able to meet the promises they give unto the people, and so they are very frustrated. So they are trying to cling on anything they can cling on to save their sinking boats.
It's a sinking ship already?
It's a sinking ship. They are drowning.
Actually, that informs our conversation of the day. And, and the conversation of the day is all about, you want to look and analyze whether Kenya Kwanza government will stand the test of time, or is it just a house built on sand? You get it?
Yes.
And let me start from the latest development. You know very well Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei.
Yes.
He has come forth and sort of accused Transport CS Kipchumba Murkomen of taking bribes, saying he has evidence to show that.
Yes, yes.
And also calling on the incompetency of Moses Kuria, calling the incompetency of Kipchumba Murkomen, sort of sibling rivalry.
Yes.
When you look at this outfit that has been touted and profiled as a very formidable entity, UDA party being touted the latter day, KANU, would you say that these are already signs to show that it's not a formidable entity, but sort of a ship that is already sinking, And its political obituary, maybe it's sort of underway.
May I tell you that it would be a mistake of fact for anybody to ever think that UDA has ever been a formidable force.
Really?
It has never been. It was not at the time of its inception. It was not at the time of its conception. It was not at the time of its consummation. And it is not at this particular time of its death. It has never been. UDA and KK government did not come to power to govern. They came to power with a mentality of showing the big boys, oh, there is new sheriff in town.
A new sheriff.
Hata sisi tuko hapa. So they forgot why they are where they are. For them, they came with a mentality of Mr. Fix-It. Oh, we're going to fix the economy. Oh, we don't need these subsidies. Oh, and that's why you saw the subsidies being removed on the same day. You saw the judges being sworn in on the same day. Just to do what? To show the former government the middle finger. That is why you can see the government is running, the people in government are running helter-skelter. Yani huku Kenya kumekuwa ni kumoto sana, hata hataki kukaa hapa Kenya. Hata akisikia president wa Tanzania amepata homa kidogo, anakimbia hapa kwenda kumwangalia. Just because the guy cannot stay here, the seat is hot.
It's that hot?
It's so hot for him. He can hardly stay in this republic because the guy has no idea. So for him, is governing by he has a strategy of governing by abandoning. You govern by abandoning. So when an issue rises up, instead of him sitting and facing the issues the way President Uhuru Kenyatta used to face them, the guy runs away. But you see, do you know this guy is a guy who went to last week? He went to Germany.
Germany, yeah.
And he had a trip to go to France. Right? Then he says on his en route to France, a CS calls him and says, hey, sir, I want you to come and officiate the opening to officiate a function of opening, I think, a laboratory somewhere in Isiokemau. Do you know what? The guy comes back.
Cuts short his trip.
He cuts short the trip. It tells you then the trip to France was meaningless. Because how can a CS persuade a whole president to come back and open a medical clinic? Just officiate the opening of a clinic.
Talking of which, even before that France trip, he had gone to Germany and he said Kenya should stop calling out on his many trips. He says he's going to go there and look for at least 200,000 jobs for Kenyan youth. And every other trip he's trying to justify and saying it's for the best interest of the country. Don't you see that this may be sort of a proactive president and also a president who has the best fortunes of the country that he's trying to also to look for opportunities outside there? You know,
how proactive is he and all those trips that he has gone, other than just getting us into deeper and sinking the country deeper into debts and sinking the country deeper into the high cost of living? What else can we see from it?
Are you then saying
zero?
That these many trips and foreign engagements are sort of...
they're not adding any value. They're not adding any value to this country. They're not adding any economic value. They're not adding any social value. They're not adding any political value. They're only adding value in the pockets of Mr. William Ruto and his cohorts.
May I get your clarity on this? Are you saying too many foreign trips, say too many meetings he's having every day outside the country as in self an admission of failure?
Hizo ni vipindi. Oh, hizo ni vipindi. President Uhuru Kenyatta was able to do much more with very minimal travels. President Kibaki was able to do much more with almost zero travels. President Kenyatta was able to do much more with many travels. Other than just saying, oh, this country is XYZ because of Uhuru Kenyatta. Oh, hata wakishindwa mtoto akikosa maziwa, President Uhuru Kenyatta. Airport ikianza kunyesha, President Uhuru Kenyatta ndiye anafanya kunyeshe. You ask yourself, these guys came into power in September. This year, in May, in March, April, May, there were rains. And that place was not raining. Kwani Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa amefanya nini mabati wakati huo iko inanyesha, sasa ndio imeanza kunyesha mkaanza kusema ni Uhuru Kenyatta? These guys are dysfunctional. And you asked me about Murkomen, the vitriol between Murkomen and Sargei. Do you know now Murkomen is putting on a watch worth 5 million?
You don't have
Yeah,
evidence
he's
for
putting
that.
on a sneakers worth about 3 million. A guy who was impoverishing in poverty. He was languishing in poverty the other day. All of a sudden, he has become a very affluent man.
Not God's graces.
Oh,
And
they must be worshiping the gracious God. Then they must have gotten into heaven where they have they are flying in a land of honey and milk and gold. That is where they are now.
But we've seen inspiring stories of, say, Jenga Karume from charcoal to gold.
Yes.
He could just be another boy who's been...
But we saw Jenga Karume's works and the journey to riches.
over time.
This guy has become over time a billionaire, putting on a watch worth 5 million, just on the courtesy of him being a CS. And that is why when we are told by Chege that he has received a bribe of 100 million USD, I have no reason to doubt. And mark you, he has not even come out to deny that fact.
It could be true.
He has not denied it. He has not distanced himself from it. Neither has he even instructed his lawyers to go to court and sue Chege for defamation. So it tells you that Lisemwalo lipo.
You've oftentimes taken concern with the sentiments of Senator Chege.
Yeah.
Maybe for the first time, if I want to look at it from that perspective. Do you find that this is someone who is actually doing his mandate in the right way, or is it sort of...
No. It is a Kalenjin battle of supremacy.
Nothing to do with working for the country?
They have their own battles. I'm very sure if Chege was a partaker of the same, he would not have even spoken.
You want to... Come on.
Yes, he may not have spoken. Perhaps the deal gone sour. Hizo ni vita za wakale.
Vita za wakale? It could be wrong because he has taken concern with the incompetency of Moses Kuria.
Yes.
He's taken concern with...
But you see, Chege is that this guy who has been sidelined. He's a black sheep within UDA.
Sidelined across the board.
He's a black sheep within UDA. His time to eat has not yet come. That is why he's having these vitrials. He's an outsider. He's an outsider within UDA.
How can he be an outsider within UDA yet he has portrayed himself as the guardian at the gate, the government's biggest defender?
Now, if he's serious about it, let him bring a censor motion to censor Murkomen and Moses Kuria. I mean, let him bring a vote of no confidence against them if he's serious. Lakini leo pengine atashaitwa ashandungwa kakitu. So unajua that parliament is a hopeless parliament.
Hopeless?
Yes, very hopeless. With the 10,000 shillings, you're good to go. You have your bills passed. You'll have your motion passed. You'll silence them.
Even with the opposition being there to shut down such bills?
You see, we are not in opposition.
Where are you?
We in Azimio are not in opposition.
Where are you?
We are in the minority. Because this constitution does not appreciate. It's not a Westminster parliament where you have the side of government and side of opposition. We are in the minority, and the works of the minority in parliament is the same as the works of the majority in parliament. Both the majority and the minority in parliament are supposed to check on government. They are supposed to offer oversight of a government.
Very well.
So we are joined at the hips by the constitution. So ordinarily, Chege at least is trying, but my best bet is Ketar, and is he called Alfred Ketar?
Alfred Ketar.
Alfred Ketar is a gentleman who is rising up. It's a person that that guy is speaking from the depth of his heart.
Not
and
because he was sent into political oblivion after failing to click the seat?
No, because he has been who he is. He has been a man of his. He has been a man of substance, and he has been a man who has kept to his words and to his creed. So basically, this is a failed government. Kenyans should not wait for any much more. The day of reckoning has came a long time ago. They are gnashing their teeth. And these people have no solution for them. Advancing
that conversation on whether this regime is built on sand, we have seen it justify oftentimes their failures to the actions of former President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
And let us set sentiments from Dadaab, Member of Parliament Farah Maalim. He has said, for Uhuru Kenyatta, he never came here to serve the country. All he did was to come and milk the country dry.
That's nonsense. It's a nonsensical statement from such a senior member of parliament.
That same statement has been resonated among very many people in Kenya Kwanza, taking the blame squarely.
Do you know what is happening? if you want to become the darling of William Ruto, wewe tukana Uhuru. Wewe onyeshana filia za Uhuru za Ruto ni Uhuru amefanya zikawepo. If you want to become the darling of William Ruto, just show that his failures, that he has not failed, but his failures are associated or triggered by Uhuru Kenyatta.
And that's it.
So the question of insulting and bastardizing Uhuru Kenyatta has become a means of rent seeking rent seeking by the members of parliament, and that is why you saw Mungatana saying, and Mungatana is a good friend of mine, and he's a sharp gentleman.
Very well.
He's quite sharp. But on this one, I think he's lost his focus and his compass.
That no one remembers Uhuru anymore.
Oh, what he does not know is that Uhuru, we don't need to remember Uhuru. We only need to see what Uhuru did. You go and see the expressway, you know Uhuru was here. You go and see Wayakiwe, you know Uhuru was here.
Or SGR.
You go and see the SGR, you know Uhuru was here. You go and see the kind of the expansion in the health sector, you know Uhuru was here.
Kenya Shipyards Limited and all.
You go to see how the shilling was performing at 128, you remember Uhuru was here. You go and see how the dollar was stable, you remember the Uhuru was here. You go and see how he was able to subsidize food for food security, you remember Uhuru was here. Anybody who is sleeping hungry today is remembering that Uhuru was here. Anybody who is not able to pay school fees for his child is remembering that Uhuru was here. The coffee farmers from Kirinyaga County, Kirinyaga where I come from, who are now being paid 20 shillings all the way from 120, wanakumbuka Uhuru alikuwa hapa. Wakulima wa makandamia ambao walikuwa wanalipwa shilingi 200 kwa kilo moja na sasa wanalipwa shilingi 20, wanalala wakikumbuka kwamba Uhuru was here. So Mr. Mungatana, may I remind you that we have things to remember, to remind us that Uhuru was here. And by the way, Uhuru only retired as a president. He never retired, one, as a politician. Number two, he has not retired in our minds and in our hearts.
But what do you make of the constant clarion calls that he should retire honorably like Moi and Kibaki went into sort of pin drop silence?
Retirement is voluntary. Retirement is voluntary. If you so wish to retire, you go and retire. Right? No. Mungatana has lost elections thrice. Sure. I think it's twice.
Several times.
And every time he has been trying to reclaim his seat. When he lost the second time, why didn't he retire?
In Garsen.
He should have also taken a retirement in Garisen, from Garisen. So what I'm simply saying is, it is a constitutional decree. It's a constitutional right, undisputed right, that belongs to President Uhuru Kenyatta to exercise his political rights under Article 38 of the Constitution, as and when he so wishes. So if you so feel that Uhuru Kenyatta should not speak, then go and amend Article 38. And say that Article 38 is not applicable or is not available for enjoyment by the retired President Uhuru Kenyatta. But it's unfortunate for them to understand, and they must understand it, that Uhuru is here to stay.
Very well.
Yes.
Now that we're still talking about this government that sort of has an appetite to put this blame squarely at the doorstep of Uhuru Kenyatta, in the face of people in Mount Kenya, more soil is being rubbed on the legacy of Uhuru Kenyatta. We did come to a point whereby Uhuru Kenyatta, much as many people consider him a foundation, a movement, he'll be reduced to a former shelf of himself.
No, he cannot. No, he cannot.
To every bad maligning that is going to his way.
No, Nikulize, what is it that they're going to say about Uhuru Kenyatta that they have not said? What is that new they will say about Uhuru Kenyatta that they have not said? What else can Gachagua say about Uhuru Kenyatta that he never said?
Even the emotive land subject, when they bring it up, it won't work?
You see, for example, the land subject is very emotive. As we speak right now, there's a bill that is pending in the parliament. They want to amend the National Land Commission Act to expand its jurisdiction to investigate historical
injustices
and present land injustices. And they are saying historical land injustices is defined to mean injustices that were caused or occasioned by bad policies, violation of any law, coming into force of any treaties, agreements, or it resulted into displacement of anybody. Let me tell you, they think that they are focusing on Uhuru Kenyatta. But that bill is going to bring chaos, and I'm going to highlight on it right now because you've asked me about it.
True.
Then they're also saying that this historical land injustice will be pegged to run from the 15th of June 1895 when Kenya became a protectorate to 27th August 2010. So over a period of 100 plus years, that is when we are going to start investigating historical land injustices. They have said that if it resulted into displacement of people, that is land injustice, that is historical injustice. We have our people who are in Molo, as we speak, who have constantly been displaced by individuals who say that this was our ancestral land. We have people in Kurisoi, we have our people in Elbagon, Burnt Forest, and all those places. We have our people at Langas, again, you remember, in 2007, who are displaced by the habitants who say that this is our ancestral land. You have now come to legalize that displacement. You have now said if anybody was displaced as a result of a law, then that is historical land injustice. How safe are our people in Rift Valley? How safe are our people in Peketoni? Who are also going to face serious challenges because the Arabs and the Swahilis will say that this was our ancestral land. They have also said that they are introducing amendment to the land to provide that any person who owns a freehold land, like here in Karen, if you have a freehold land adjacent to a city or an urban setup, you will be paying land rent, just like a person paying leases. So they are converting land rents, they are converting freeholds to leaseholds. They have also said that government can come and acquire your land without negotiation, and then they pay you later. So this is a very toxic land amendment bill that is pending in Parliament. And it is toxic in the sense that they think they are fixing Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yeah, sure.
But at the end of the day, our people will suffer. Look at the people, the Arabs in coast. They will be displaced. They will be told that this land belonged to the Mejikendas.
Sure.
You see? So this government has no clue. And then you ask yourself, which investor will come to invest in this country when he knows that there are unresolved land issues? That if I buy land in Kajiado today, I'll be displaced because historical land injustice will mean that this land was once for Masai because the Masais lost this land through the treaty with Lenana.
Very well.
So even the people in Nairobi, the Masai will come and say, this is our land, and you will not defend it because they lost it as a result of a treaty. So these guys have no idea on how to govern completely. Absolutely. Yes.
Before we wrap up this conversation, I want to understand from your standpoint. We saw the recent public appearance by Uhuru Kenyatta. It sort of sent shockwaves among Kenya Kwanza legislators, some sort of panic.
Yes.
Why then again will the appearance of a retired man, whom they've said they've brought down to
is
ashes...
inconsequential. They have said is inconsequential, is ineffective. Why are they scared when he appears?
Is it that Uhuru is still that powerful figure in face of the nation?
Uhuru will show the mountain on where to go in 2027.
And they will?
Uhuru will be a factor, and take this to the bank. Uhuru will be a factor in 2027 insofar as the voting pattern in Mount Kenya region. And people this time will listen to him because they are saying, oh, Uhuru alituambia. Oh, Uhuru alisema. Now whatever Uhuru said, people are now able to associate and resonate with it.
How about if they go through intimidation tactics, go after Mamangina Kenyatta, go after Uhuru's sons? Will that somewhat sort of...
Let me ask you, when you think this government, to the widest, wildest imagination, this regime can only be in power for 10 years. Now we're talking. And then we shall reverse whatever they have done.
From your optic, Uhuru is a force to reckon with?
Uhuru will determine on how the mountain will vote in 2027.
Not Rigathi Gachagua?
Rigathi Gachagua is inconsequential. Rigathi Gachagua is a political toddler.
Toddler?
Yes, he's a political greenhorn.
Come on.
Rigathi Gachagua is a no one in Mount Kenya region when it comes to issues of how to vote.
Are you saying he's a spineless politician?
He's not just spineless. He doesn't even have. He cannot even stand. You know, is like is a worm. You know, a worm can keep on rolling. It has no spine. It has no bones.
He can't grow or sort of put up a formidable entity of himself.
Rigathi Gachagua cannot grow beyond what he is today. And it is not himself who made himself what he is. He was made what he is today by Mr. William Ruto.
So kingpinship is a far-fetched goal for him.
That's a dream.
He won't ascend to the kingship?
That kingship wapi? Kingship ya nani? Kingship kwa nani?
Spearheading reforms, left, right, and center.
Which reforms?
Coffee, tea,
the guy has, which reforms has he brought? He has completely killed the coffee sector.
Cracking on cartels?
Which cartels? I'm telling you, Richard. Last year, in the presence of those alleged cartels, walitununulia kahawa kilo shilingi 120.
Down from?
No, when the cartels were there, coffee was 1 kg was going for 120 shillings. When the cartels have been fukuzwad, now a kg is going for 20 shillings. If you are lucky to sell one, because coffee is still not being sold. You understand? So I have no kind words for this former member of parliament for Madeira.
So these are fruitless reforms?
You know, I don't even ever refer to him as a deputy president. Because one, I never voted for him. Two, I don't believe in him. He was my classmate. He was my schoolmate in Kenyatta High School. So he's one of the old boys. So I can comfortably refer to him as an old boy for Kenyatta High School. At least that one we share some commonality. But insofar as the question of leadership, he has no idea on how to govern this country. That is why, and I can tell you, you heard him say, oh, we have given the governors 10 billion.
Sure.
For El Nino.
El Nino.
Then all of a sudden, all the governors come and say, the guy is lying. Nothing has been given. Oh, ni mtu ana idea. Don't even give him more time for no.
That is our next conversation on
Rigathi has no idea on how to govern. He has no idea.
Really?
Yes.
I spoke to one.
And I bet he must also be having very weak advisors.
Really?
Yes.
Even Kimani Ichung'wah on his other side?
Don't mention that boy.
Come on.
Don't mention that
Majority
boy.
Leader reducing him to a boy?
Don't mention that boy. He's too full of himself. He's too proud. The other day, tulikutana na yeye uko Bomas, akakataa kunisalimia.
You call him petty?
He's not just petty. Akona shida emotions. You need to check on his hormones.
Ndegonjiru.
Yeah, Kimani Ichung'wah needs to check on his hormones.
Working overtime to make sure bills are passed in parliament.
Which bills? These bills. By the way, that land bill is being sponsored by Ichung'wah. Ichung'wah is sponsoring a land bill to cause mayhem and displacement of our people in Molo, our people in Kuresoi, our people in Laikipia, wherever our people have settled. Just know that I think I'm obsessed with Rigathi. Ichung'wah has set you up, you people, with this bill. Na mutafukuzwa mahali muko.
If he continues with this trajectory, for him, are these political stars aligned for him? He's going to have a bright future in politics, or the nation will come against him at some point?
Ichung'wah?
Sure, yeah.
Why are we giving limelight to people who are not even worth of it?
Well, there you have it from Ndegonjiru, a political voice of reason in this country and also a very much celebrated public scholar in this nation, calling out the government, telling them it's high time they really mend the leaking roof in their house, that is Kenya Kwanza government and the UDA political party, which has been touted as the latter-day KANU. But Ndegonjiru says it won't really stand the test of time. We wait to see how this will unfold in the fullness of time. That has been our conversation talking matters, the status of the regime this far and what they need to fix today, if not yesterday. Until next time on The Conversation, I'm Richard Mwenja. Ndegonjiru, always a pleasure to have you on board.
It's a pleasure.
Very well. Until next time, God bless. See you.
Thank you.